Hello, everyone. Howard Jacobson here. I am, don't tell me, I know this. I am the co-author of Sick to Fit. I am the host of the Plant Yourself podcast, and I am the chief of behavioral science at WellStart Health. And today I want to talk about one of my all-time favorite cinematic experiences. And I'm trying to remember the year. I saw it in New York City, and not with my family, but with some friends from school. I think we were trying to go see a play or a musical on Broadway. We were waiting that long TKTS half price line, but by the time we got to the front, there was nothing we wanted to see. So we saved a lot of money by going to some, 50th Street and 8th Avenue movie theater. So I'm guessing it was maybe 79, 80, and we saw the movie Airplane, which there's a lot of movies that I saw as a kid or as a young teen that I was really excited to show my own kids because oh, this is amazing. You're going to love this. And then it turns out that they really didn't age very well. And I'm talking about the movies, not my kids. So it's kind of embarrassing. Like when they were 12 and 8, I was like, oh, you got to see Risky Business. It's hilarious. And, Risky Business came out, I think, in 83 because the story is that Joel was the Tom Cruise character, ended up getting into Princeton. Spoiler alert. And I got into Princeton, and so he would have been in our class. So that's how I can place that. And oh, it's so funny, and we're watching it, objectifies women. It celebrates criminality and cruelty. It wasn't very funny. So then there was Animal House, which I remember thinking was hilarious, which is 10 times worse in terms of being extremely unpolitically correct and aging poorly, and a lot of the sketch comedy just falls flat. Certainly did with me and with my kids. And there's been a bunch of movies, but I gotta say, Airplane has stood the test of time. And so one of the recurring gags in Airplane is the air traffic controller. I believe it's played by Leslie Nielsen. Keeps on discovering that it was a bad week to quit whatever mind-altering addictive substance he was doing because of this crisis, this emergency with the airplane. Oh, you know what I haven't done yet? I have not looked for comments and reactions. There we go. All right. Hello, Danesh. Look good. Good to see you again. So if other people who are watching want to say hello, so I could know who's out there. And also, if you want to share this, let other people know they can come watch it too. If you think this is going to be fun and worthwhile. Anyway, Leslie Nielsen, I believe. I didn't do my homework for this one. I did not spend the weekend rewatching Airplane. I will admit it. But the basic idea is he's this terrible thing happens. He's got to do some really stressful thing at work, and he first says oh, I guess I picked the wrong week to stop drinking. And then something else happens, and they heighten the joke, and he goes, well, I guess I picked the wrong week to stop, snorting cocaine. And then again, oh, I guess I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue. And just, it keeps heightening to more and more ridiculous and extreme addictions. And they're all piled one on top of the other, just kind of the gag there. And that kind of became an inside joke line when things were bad, oh, I guess I picked the wrong week to stop eating pasta, or I guess I picked the wrong week to stop eating chocolate for dessert. Whenever anything stressful would happen, we'd be well, obviously I picked the wrong week. And of course the beauty of the joke is that there's truth underneath it, right? That why do we rely on these addictions, whether it's the airplane variety of drugs, alcohol, glue, or our own versions related to, could be alcohol, could be drugs, could be food, could also, of course, be all the behaviors that we know can be problematic for people. Internet use disorder, gambling addiction. When I was a teenager, my father was appointed to the New Jersey State Casino Control Commission. And he was an old lefty radical. He wasn't necessarily interested in, casinos per se, but he was very interested in the social aspects of what could happen when you all of a sudden took a depressed seaside town in New Jersey, Atlantic City, and you put in lots of casinos, lots of money. He did not want the Las Vegas syndrome, which was organized crime running the city and then the state, to happen in Atlantic City. He also wanted a lot of the profits from the casinos to go to the city itself, to rebuild infrastructure, to create more equality, rather than, as he put it, 13 Taj Mahals in the middle of a war zone. And that's where he got to know Donald Trump. And I've got some stories about that, which I will save for another day. But one of the things that I got involved in was Gamblers Anonymous. As I got to know about it, to realize how Las Vegas casinos really catered to addictive gamblers and facilitated and were compliant, complicit with their addictions to get as much money out of them as possible. Whereas in Atlantic City, there was at least an attempt to seriously address gambling addiction. And so I got to know that issue, to see how, like, when life got stressful, when money got stressful, when people were felt tight about money, when they really needed to be prudent with their money, the stress of it would precisely what would then go send them to blow their money at the slots or at the blackjack table or at the roulette wheel. People who played craps tended to do, I think, a little bit more responsibly, maybe because it's a more nuanced, cerebral game. But certainly we see people, thinking that poker could be their solution because there's skill involved. And anyway, the point is, we have these behaviors, whether they're consumption of substances, either overtly psychoactive or things we don't think of as psychoactive, like sugar, salt, fat, high calorie stuff, that still we do in response to stress. We do in response to life making demands on us such that we have internalized experiences that we want to escape from. I don't want to feel this way. Right? It wasn't that Leslie Nielsen's character wanted to be on glue or cocaine or alcohol because he could function better during that emergency. It was he wanted to numb out the feelings, the unpleasant feelings that stressful situation was engendering in him. And so that was our, I guess I picked the wrong week to give up chocolate, meaning as soon as there is a stressful event, it seems obvious that what I need is the chocolate, that's going to be my crutch. And a lot of us do this. Right? We don't necessarily verbalize it like it was done in Airplane, but it's how we act. Like, some stressor happens, we get into a fight with someone, we get a bill that we're wondering how we're going to pay, we read something in the newspaper that upsets us, we see something going on in world events or local events. I just found out that my town has had high levels of these PFAs, alkoid, dangerous chemical compounds in our water supply. We've had it for years, and there's been a cover-up. I literally read that this morning. Right? Well, that sure makes me feel uncomfortable, feel worried. Raising our kids here, wondering about some of my own health issues, like I'm really, really, I eat really well, I exercise, I get sleep, I meditate every day, and I'm still kind of fatigued a lot of the time. I feel like I don't have the energy that I wish I had. Well, maybe it's that. Maybe I'm being poisoned by my water. That's certainly something that causes a sensation inside me and a feeling constellation and thoughts that leads me to want to go distract myself with something else. And in our society, the cheapest, most convenient, most marketed, most pleasurable, most socially acceptable way to distract and numb out and get high is with food. And so every time I do that, every time any of us grabs this food to make ourselves feel better because something life has thrown at us, we are in essence saying, well, I guess I picked the wrong week to change this habit. So those of you who know my philosophy and who are familiar with what we do at WellStart Health know that we're gonna change the linguistics on that. And we're going to do it in a very simple way. We're simply going to replace the word wrong with the word right. As in, I just got a bill that was a lot higher than I thought it was. I'd forgotten about it. Now I got to pay it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Oh, I guess I picked the right week to not have sugary desserts. And what I mean by that is, I picked a week in which there's the opportunity to have that sugary dessert, which doesn't serve me, which only leaves me in more of a mental fog, a deficit. It doesn't actually make me feel better in the long term. It makes me feel worse in the long term. It just gives me a momentary, maybe 15, 20, 30-second, 2-minute at most, reprieve from those negative feelings. And then I'm back, but worse, because now I have junk food in me. As Glenn Livingston of Never Binge Again likes to say, if you've got 7 problems and you binge, you've got 8 problems. So knowing that a problem has come up this week in which I intend to be really strong about not having sugary desserts, I can say, great. So I picked the right week to give it up because now I have an immediate opportunity to dampen and extinguish that craving. I have an immediate chance, right? If I have no temptations during the week, right? Let's use a crazy example. Let's say I have this thing where I like to go to bridges and drop trash on cars and trucks going by. I try to like throw empty beer cans into the beds of pickup trucks, and I love doing it. And every time I go across a bridge, I pick up a can. I do, like, that's a terrible thing to do, right? And so I go, well, I'm going to stop doing it. So this week I stay home and I go nowhere near bridges, soda cans, beer cans, trucks, cars, any of that. And I don't do it because I'm at home. Have I picked the right week to extinguish that habit? No. I haven't done anything to extinguish the habit because the next time I'm in that situation where the trigger elicits the desire, I haven't learned anything. I haven't grown anything. I haven't changed anything. Whereas if I decide I'm going to stop doing that and I have to walk across a bridge to get to work, I don't go, oh gosh, I guess I picked the wrong week to quit throwing beer cans off the bridge. I go, now here's my chance to practice the new behavior. Here's my chance to inhibit a conditioned response to a trigger and forge a new behavior, a new neural pathway, a new pattern, a new me. So coming back to my sweet dessert thing, it's precisely those weeks, those days, those moments when the craving hits, when some trigger enters my consciousness and makes me want it, that I then can say, now is the chance to fight. Now is when I go to the habit gym and rack up the weights and start lifting. And sometimes I can get it all the way up, and sometimes the weights are too heavy, or I can do 1 or 2, and then I go to failure and I simply cannot lift it again. Either way, win or lose, if I'm in the fight, I'm strengthening the muscle. So next time you think, oh, well, this is the wrong week to give up whatever it is because of some stressor, because of some extreme situation, because of a stronger trigger than you can remember. Don't go all airplane, but turn it around, get excited, and say, great, today is the right day to let go of this habit. I guess I picked the right week to give up sugar, salt, fat, gambling, porn, workaholism, whatever. Use the hardships as a rack of weights. And I'll take a look and see if there are any questions and any comments. And while I'm waiting for those, I will remind everyone today is the first day of a new WellStart cohort. So if you are interested, if you feel like this is the 12 weeks, I picked the right day to get started on my health transformation. I know what to do, and I just seem to lack what fancy scientists, biologists call self-regulation. Right? Organisms self-regulate, but in humans, we can lose that ability to self-regulate because of our environments and because of trauma. And at WellStart Health, we help you overcome both of those negative influences to become the master of your fate. So if you're interested in that, you can still sign up. Today is not too late. We just started today, first day, and you can check that out at wellstarthealth.com/program. And looking down, I don't see any questions. So unless something comes up in the next 15 seconds or so, I would encourage everyone, go watch Airplane. Again, see if you agree with me. See if it still stands the test of time after all these years. And let me know what you think in the comments. And if you have questions or anything you'd like me to talk about in a future Facebook Live, you can post those as well. Very, very helpful. If you would like to participate with me in a Facebook Live that would consist of me coaching you, we would do it on video live for a specific, actual, real health issue, health behavior issue, habit issue that you'd like some help with. I'm looking to start adding those in on a weekly basis to these broadcasts. So let me know if you'd be willing to go public and get some help at the same time, and also help us out by helping us spread the word. All right, well, thank you everybody for watching. It was great to be with you here. Again, every day, you can check the schedule. Most days it's noon Eastern, sometimes it's 3. Sometimes I have guests, sometimes it's just me. Feel free to share, to let other people know about this so we can continue to spread the word and help people get healthier and happier and more authentic and joyful in their lives. All right, everybody, have a great day.